it's creaky. Got to plug in the gun. All right, let me see if I can find this. It's always a challenge. Come on. Hey, Annie. How are you? Hey, Sue. Hi, Jessica. Okay, it looks like we got some people on. Tonight, I'm going to do, I wanted to do the wreath I was talking about last night, but I did not get around to it. So, we're going to work on the snowman. Is that thing, I don't think that's back far enough. There we go. Okay, so this guy, very simple, very easy. This is just a little taste of what we do in my group, right? So, just going to get a little sneak preview tonight. And, hi, Darla. How are you? Hi, Karen. Hey, Pat. Hi, Dora. Hello, Mary. Okay, so this is what we do. I show different projects that have been, you know, bestsellers for us throughout the years. Hi, Jerry. Hi, Donna. Thank you, Jess. Hey, Marquita. And so we, what we do is I'll come on and I'll show the project, and then we'll do the project. And as I do it, I'm always writing. I don't know whether you guys ever see this if I don't change the paper, but there's always some writing here. And I'll go through as I'm doing it and add up the cost. I have a frog in my throat or something. Thank you, Annie. Hi, Michelle. How are you? So this is made out of a 1x8. Okay, let's just get the throat clearing out of the way. So, you know, I tell people it's a 1x8. That's what it says on the little sign. But they're really 1x7 and something. And it varies. It really does. When you go to purchase wood, it's never whatever it says. 1x12 is usually 1x11 1/4 to sometimes it could be a half. So it all varies. So where we get our wood, I get it in, we used to get it in like 10, 12, 14 foot lengths. And anymore, we just get it in 6s because you know what? It's a little easier to handle. So this is a 1x8. So if you're just joining, you guys, I'm giving you a little sneak preview of what goes on in our private group that we have called Inside the Loft. And this is how I normally do my group. So this one is measuring 34.5. So out of a 6-foot board, you're going to get 2 of these. Where we go, a 1x8 costs around $5. But let's just, for the heck of it, say it's $6 because that does fluctuate too. So it's $6 and you're going to get 2 of them out of it. And so that's going to make it $3. So right now we're at $3. I've put some paint on it. I'm going to guesstimate that to be around, I can't even really like give that an amount because I used my Oops can of chalk paint from the store. Another tip, always look on that Oops shelf in wherever you go and buy, like Home Depot, Lowe's, stuff like that. This one was one that they had dropped and it just oozed out some paint. This paint is almost, I'm thinking like $16 for this. Normally it was $2 because the can was all dented. There's not a thing wrong with it. So, but you don't want to use that $2 because if you have to replace it, you're going to be paying that other price. So just for the sake of argument, I'll just go with a quarter. So we're at $3.25. We're going to use some burlap, not very much. And burlap is one of the cheapest things to, I love oops too. Oh no, your phone keeps freezing. I'm sorry. Have you tried going, well, if I'm frozen, you're not hearing this. Someone tell Darla to go out and come back in. Maybe that'll stop the freezing. So anyways, I'm going to guesstimate I'm using also 25 cents worth of burlap in this. If you work with burlap a lot, you might want to mask up, but I don't work with it enough, but you just see all that stuff flying through the air. So now we're at $3.50 for this project. Now, whatever you add to it is going to be, you know, just extra little this and that. So I base coated this with chalk paint. You should paint the back. I did not. I got home late tonight, so I did not have a chance to do the back. And I didn't want us to sit here and watch paint dry. So we're going to dry brush his cheeks on. And dry brushing, if you don't know, is just you load it and you wipe it back out until you get, and I do that because I want his cheeks to be bright and big and bold, but I don't want them to be, you know, like too much. Sometimes, you know, if I put on my makeup in the dark and I get in the car, that's what you don't want, okay? So I always do the cheeks first because I just like that. I'm trying to watch and see if you can see his head. I try to do the cheeks first because then I can place everything else around it. You would think the eyes would go first, but I don't do the eyes first. Okay. So we're just going to, in a big circular motion, do this little number. And I make them big. I have tried this different, having them, you know, not so, and people always go for the ones that are the biggest and brightest. But you don't want solid coverage on it, because then it would be like too much. Okay. And so he's pretty easy, you guys. I have a lot of fun. I do these and I write different sayings on them, and then I decorate them in different color schemes or themes. And they're a lot of fun just to play with, and they're quick, they're easy, and they're a good money maker because of that. Like if you're preparing for a show and you're behind and you know you're not going to get everything done, you have to know when to stop and start something easy to fill the booth, right? And this is one of those guys. Hi, Jackie. Okay, so I just do the little dots because, you know, most of our things are, let me see if I've messed this one up enough. I can't see it. Okay, then I'm just going to put a mouth on him. I usually do a flying W. I think on him, I'm going to do the coal. And I always just try to really thinly put some little brows. Okay? And you could do that with a brush too if you wanted to. Where is my bucket of noses? Mom is always, keeps me in noses. She always has a little thing of noses, so I can always have my pick. So I don't like that one for him. Let me pull this back again. Maybe I should just, hold on you guys. I'm going to try and scoot this back a little bit. Maybe that would help. Oh, hi, Millie. And let's try this one. That one's cute. I like that one. Can you guys see these? I don't know what I don't think maybe, okay, maybe you can see it. There. This little guy, I think it's too little. Oh, that's pointy. Okay, I'm not going to put that on. Sometimes these bigger things, people knock them over. So, I want to do that. This guy's going to be a leaner. I mean, we're getting simple here. You're down to, you've got 3 more hours to go to make sure you got enough to fill that booth, and you need some stuff, right? You don't even have time to cut a stand for it. So, he's going to be simple, simple. Okay, there's that one. She is awesome, Anne. That glare again is going to get me, so I'm just going to leave it laying down. I think I'm leaning towards this one. We have names for all these because they do really go with certain ones, but then we use them for other things too. That one, I don't want this long one. I don't want it hanging off. Because he's going to be a leaner, if somebody should knock him over, I don't want it snapping off the end of his nose. So we'll go with that one. Ooh, look at all those bows. Good grief. I forgot I had done that. And as usual, look, I think my other one got carried inside because I was gluing attachments. It's not going to be one of those nights, I'm telling you. I was gluing attachments for the home signs. So I think my other glue got carried in. But I always use E6000 to hold it forever because it's strong stuff. But it's also slow drying, so that I can continue to work. I'm going to do a little bit of hot glue. And we'll just put his nose there. All right, so we don't... There he is. Hello. Okay, so you can put something on his head if you want to make him a hat. I've made him a hat out of material before and made it like a long sleeve hat kind of. But you don't have to. So what I'm going to do with this is, normally I have burlap bags. And I have crafted all of them, so I ran out of them. So we're going to use this. This is cheaper anyways than buying a bag. I'm just trying to get the right size. What I'm going to do is put him in here, in a bag, basically. That's obviously the wrong side, but I'm just trying to size this. I think I'll cut that there. I don't want it to go too high. He can't be wrapped too tight. He'll melt. I think I'm going to go down to here. That looks good. You don't have to be, this isn't precision cutting. AKA, I don't do precision cutting. Okay. I'm trying not to get this stuff all over me because then you can never get it off. You just have to do one more cut. There we go. Bags are obviously faster, but they're also more expensive. So if you're trying to keep the costs down. I'm not even going to fold that up right now. Hi, Sandy. Okay, so what I'm wanting is to glue this and make it like a bag. So now I can straighten it up. Excuse me, mister. So now I'll just straighten that up. If I wasn't live and scrunched here, I would probably have cut this correctly. because you do cut down on waste when you do things correctly. Oh. All right, so now we're going to make a bag. I'm trying not to burn ourselves. And obviously, I didn't get to go get my new charger. I think I wore my charger out, you guys. Is that bad? I haven't had it. I think I've had it a year. I feel like it's kind of bad. But that just, then I can just get another one. Hi, Amanda. Just get another charger, and it'll come with another battery, so then I'll have 3 batteries, and maybe it'll last me for a while. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry for a minute. I want to make a bow to put on him. Do I want a bow? I do want a bow down on the bag. Around his neck, I think I want a scarf. And I'm in the mood to do, strangely enough, I'm not in the mood to do red buffalo check. I'm in the mood to do blue. Now, here's a tip of something I did incorrect. I tore this the wrong way in the midst of a show meltdown. The night we were getting ready for the show. And I was just tearing fabric. I needed all these scarves. And I tore it the wrong direction. In other words, they're too short for most of my guys. Because I like the scarves to be long. So now I have to tear 2 of them to get enough length, because I tore it in the wrong direction. You should always tear in the direct. I always get 2 yards, first of all, so that they can be long enough. And you should tear it in the direction of the most length. And I did not do that. So now, it's not that you're using more, it's just a pain in the butt because you're doing more work. And it happens during these night before the show. There could really be a reality show shot here the night before a show. It'd probably do great. I would be very embarrassed, but it'd probably do really well. Hi, Tina. Ha, I did it. Hi, Ellen. I know he is obsessed with Blue Buffalo. Well, hello, Kate. Okay, so we're going to pretend. I don't want his face messed up. Hold on. There. See, that's just not going to be long enough. If I take this around, for me, that's just not long enough, because by the time you tie it, you're clear up here. I mean, it might be, but I need a little more. I just need a little more. So, this is my little, oops, I messed up. I'm going to fix it. Deal we got going here. And then also, because I didn't have time to do the back of this, I'm going to have to work around everything and do the back, because I won't sell it with a naked back. Okie doke. Now, sorry, I know that hurt. Oh, they survived. Okay. So I'm going to pull this out. When I pull that, some of this plaid, because I buy the shirt material and I don't buy the homespun, or the blanket stuff. The blanket stuff is very low cost. Here's the problem with it. I showed somebody this the other night. This is flannel blanket material. Very cheap, $2.99. This stuff normally runs $7.99 and up, so you got to catch it on a sale, and you got to do it when you have one of those coupons, or they're running one. Preferably, you've got the 50% off one cut coupon, and you also are doing it on a weekend when Joann's does 25% off total purchase. That's how I do that. Because this $2.99 stuff, while it's very pretty and soft and cozy, it's got a white back and it just doesn't work well. This I can use on our stuffed things because I'll glue it down so tight that it won't flap. But on these wooden pieces that are mostly out in the weather, I don't like to use it on them because I don't like it flopping over to the wrong side. If that makes any sense. So I'm just going to tie this so it's big and poofy and get him there. And then I will end up cutting these. I know I made a big deal out of how long, but I do that so I can gather them and move them around. And sometimes if you take them out to the side and then glue it on the side, it has like this visual that actually makes him look bigger than he is. And that's true with a lot of the snowmen we do. Okay. I need him to have a little room here because I'm going to write something on him. So that's the other reason I'm trying to get this out to the side. Where did I get the blue? Joann's. Hobby Lobby did not have blue, but they, for the first time, had green. I got green there. Where is it? Oh, for the love. Here it is. I've already got my strips done of green. But they were really excited, too, because they said they've never gotten this color before. It's usually just this one. And so they were all happy. I love the ladies at Hobby Lobby. So when scrunching those, I lay it down and then I'll pull it up like this and I'll put some glue down, and then you have to do it a little at a time. You bring it over here and you kind of make a claw fingers, right? And it kind of makes it bunch up like maybe it's for in the wind, or how your scarf looks when you sit down. Sometimes it cracks off, and that's why I'm going to throw a staple in it here and there when I get done doing this. Put this out like this. It's also another good reason to use the E too. There we go. Okay, so that's what he looks like so far. I think our thing over here is dry. A little bag. Let me find the top. And I'm gonna gotta dress this guy. And you can make these, oh, that's a lot, 80% off. Don't tell me. You can make these any size you want. If you wanted to take that whole 6-foot board and make a very tall one, Kate has not one like this, but she has a 6-foot, is he 6? He's gotta be 6. His name is Mr. Big. And she sells them like crazy. They're on a stand. They're holding garland. So I'm going to leave this kind of bubbly, like loose right there. That's a better word. And I'm going to staple it on the back. My hand is still hurting. Like that. And then I'm going to pull this down just a tad. I'm going to have to because I'm losing all my writing space. And I like different, I try to find different snowman sayings to put on these guys so that they're not all the same. Something may resonate with somebody and something else doesn't, So then I'm going to flip him again. Rest your head up there, dude. And I'm going to curl this under. And I'm going to pull these corners up just a tad. Should have done it this way. Darn it. I want to do that over. Where's my puller outer thingy? See if I can do that without stabbing myself. Screwdriver. Okay, there we go. Pull that baby right out of there and do that over because I didn't like the way I pulled that over. Oh, Mr. Big. He's ginormous. I used to make some really, really big, I still do make big ones, but big snowmen, but we've had so many over the years that were so cute. I'll try to dig out pictures of them. Some of them were so entailed that, man, you just... Kate, do you remember Porchside Pete and Doorman Dickie? I love those two. Okay, so I have a choice on my ribbon, which I'm going to put a bow right here. Before I do that, I want to write on him. Oh, you remember that one? Porchside Pete was way taller than me, and he held a tree that we made out of sticks and greenery, and he actually wore a coat. And Doorman Dickie was about 6 feet tall, made on a 1x12, a 1x10, a 1x8. I might do that one in class. That's an easy one. Easy peasy. Okay, so I'm going to have to roll this over just a little bit to get my little saying on here. Because I don't want to take this down any lower. And I'm putting a whole saying. You could leave it like this, and you could put some stars here, or you could write something on it. I think I'm going to write something on it. Let me just think about this for a second. Okay. Wait, hold on a minute. I want to see if the star is going to fit there before I do that. I need a star. Okay. And I know you guys aren't going to be able to see this right, so I'll read it to you. I just shortened it. It's supposed to, the whole saying that I normally use on him is cold snow lumps and shiver bumps. That's what I'm made of. And I'm putting on him just the first part of that because he is a little shorter than I normally make him. Because I wanted to get 2 out of this board. So we essentially halved it. It's a little shorter than half just because this board had a issue. So we had to make it a little shorter than half of a 6 foot, which is why it's 34. So it says cold snow lumps. Oh, my left hand, I don't know. And shiver bumps. Yes, I will. You can go to there's a group called Inside the Loft. Thank you, Pat, for reminding me. And you can join there. It's $15 a month. And you go to that group and you answer 3 questions. You click on the link to pay, and then you go to the Facebook group and click to join, and I will get you in there. And I show a project or 2 a week. And then if you ever have any questions or anything for me. So here he is. And that's I know I don't know why that won't flip. That just makes me so angry. I can't even. Is that what the kids say? I can't even. I'm just getting this out of the way a little bit more. Okay, so we want to never buy a Joann's glue gun because it squeaks and it's funny. I want to tie, I think I'm going to tie this ribbon around it because I just got it, and you know, you have to. You have to use it. Oh, I just love navy. Before I do that, see, I was getting ready to make a mistake. We are not a mistake-free zone, by the way, just to let you know. Occasionally, in class, I will make a mistake on purpose just to show how to fix it. That's not true. I'm human and I make mistakes. Oh, shoot. Sounded good, though, didn't it? And all of a sudden this year, for some reason, I am really into blinky lights. I don't know why. On my some of my sitters the other day, when I was putting them together, I did the lights and made them blink, and I didn't tell anybody. So when we set up for the show and they started plugging stuff in, it was like a surprise for them, and they were like, well, first they were probably scared that something was going wrong. And then they realized they were blink lights. So I'm going to change him to a blinker. For those of you who don't know, that little package that comes in all your lights with all 3 little replacements and a fuse, the one with the red on the tip is your blinker. And now, this is what you also want to do. You need to test your lights to make sure they come on before you put them in something. So I've done that before too. Gotten it all put together and the lights are bad, which happens. Oh, you thought the lights were having problems. Your phone's giving you fits because it's getting ready to be obsolete, babe. I know Jim don't want to hear that. We should go get a new phone together. Somebody on one of our neighborhood pages went in, their daughter's phone was a 6, and they went in to get it. Now, I don't put this, hold on the story, Vicky. I don't put this like through the, I don't cut this so that the cord comes out. I just bring it up to the top, and then usually I'll put a staple. I'm not going to do it tonight. One right there to hold it towards the back, and then it'll come down to the bottom, and they can, plug it in with an extension cord or something. But the reason I just don't want this stuff unraveling, number one. And I think it kind of brings the lights all throughout the bag. A little bit. They're going to be mostly at the bottom, but because I have to put that tie there, I can't have them there, but I'm trying to get them to where they're all over the place. Yeah, but if you give him yours and it goes out. Oh, so the story I was telling you. Squirrel. See? I'm going to lean this up here on the chest for just a minute, because this is how I do it when I'm getting ready for a show. I don't have time to be flipping stuff over. She went in to get us an iPhone 6 fixed, and they told her, you might as well get her a new phone, because at the first of the year, these aren't going to be on our network any longer. That was a horrible cut, but I just had to get that off there. So she ended up having to buy her kid another phone. I don't know if that's true. Kate looked it up, though. What did it say, Kate? Was it true? They said 5s and 6s were going to be off the network come the first of the year. She was not a happy camper. I could have done a better job on those lights. Let me see if I can flip this over and get this in here. My hand's not going to go in there for sure. There we go. I want them towards the middle. Okay. Now we're going to put a bow made of, I think I'm going to make it out of this one because it's blue. We're keeping with the blue thing here. And maybe lighten it up with some of that navy. Put this plaid up here. I have this plaid, it's buffalo check. I know, it's a shock. I have this buffalo check, like lounging. It's kind of like a poncho, but it has pockets and sleeves, armholes. Bella put it on the other night. Hi, Gloria. Because she got cold when she was over here. And she is always, I'm always trying to dress her in plaid and she won't do it. Or buffalo and she won't do it. The boys love it. She's like, that's too plaid-y. She put it on and I went to snap a picture of her and she slipped right out of it. But I always tease Bella about plaid. Because I'm always trying to get her in it. She won't do it. She's too girly girl for her plaid. Oh boy. Okay, so I'm gonna do these real easy. You don't want a big, that may be too big, but you don't want a big deal with these, right? I could shorten this with a little trick like that if I think it's too big when we get done here. But we'll see. Make another one. Where'd that wire go? I just threw that. There it is. Just threw it over here. And this one I want to make a little smaller. Do I want that on top? Ooh, I think I want this on the bottom so we get to make it bigger. Thank you, Pat. Okay. Oh my word. I'm surprised this hand is holding this ribbon. I don't know what I've done. Like, I'm beginning to think, I asked Mom, I said, did I break it and I don't remember? Because even driving home holding the wheel, it was hurting. I don't remember smashing it. Anything. Could be overuse. Thank you, Cheryl. Hi, Sherry. I am fine. How are you? I'm actually going to be doing the project for this week tomorrow inside the loft. For those of you that were asking about the loft. Okay, so how I do these is just real simple. I just put one on top of the other. I decided to do that, didn't I? And then twist all the wires so that it's going to hold. Even when I have 4 or 5 stacks of these. But normally, let me show you. I use these to hold them. If I'm doing more than 2 ribbons, I have these little clips that I got at Dollar Tree. And I'll clip them. I won't put the wire in them and just throw them to the side. And then I'll stack them, take the clips off one at a time, and stack them. And then wire them together. And that keeps you from having to hold like a whole big bow in your hand, right? Because that would hurt too. It didn't used to hurt, but you know, 56. 56. That actually doesn't upset me as much as I thought it would. Okay, so now I'm going to put this on here. And I do feel like I made them a little too big, so we're going to fix that. It just must be a problem I'm having with bows because I'm making them all too big. Last night I think I made them too big. But then I think, is there really such a thing? So I'm curling this. I don't know whether you can see this, but I'm curling it under a little bit. And then I'm going to staple it down. So that reduces the size of that one. If you're not stapling and you've got one on a wreath that's a rogue loop. I also have to be mindful that I have lights under here somewhere. You can do this same thing with your glue gun. So you take this. And that's kind of too big because it's hiding this one behind it. And it's supposed to be smaller. So I'm just going to give it a fold. And it would probably hold just like that. You wouldn't have to glue it. If you're scared that it's going to come undone, stick a little drop of glue. But then you got to be careful. And don't burn yourself. Same over here. And this one I'm not going to glue. But this is really good ribbon. I got at AC Moore the other day. And it's going to hold just like that. I don't think I'll glue it. And then these, we're going to curl up a little bit because we don't want to hide that whole bag. We want them to be able to see the bag and see the lights and see everything. You can either roll them up, or you can pull them all off over here like this. So it's coming off the side. I might do that. And then there's still like, again, I don't want to say an illusion because I'm not trying to trick anybody, but it does make it look like a beefier piece. And remember, we're doing these because it's the 11th hour and you need some stuff quick. Okay, so there he is. Now you could just keep going. Did I glue this? Yes, I did. Now you could keep going if you wanted, and you could put a hat on him. You don't have to. I'll probably spray him and do some glitter so he sparkles. But other than that, I will spray him because he's got chalk paint on him. And chalk paint, you don't want that to get messed up. So, let me get, where is it? Hold on just a second, I'm sorry. I thought it was right around the corner from me. of primitive stuff, I use this big glitter. It's kind of chunky. And then this isn't, like if I would have waxed this and made it look antique-ish, I would have used this. I use the bigger on antique things. On something like this, I use the ultra fine. Whoa, I almost dropped it. Ultra fine. So, let me see here. I'm going to cover the iPad. Don't need to ruin the new iPad. And I just put the clear on it and just, come on. And then he's going to have a little sparkle like the snow. Since he is made of cold snow lumps and shiver bumps, that's probably a good idea. All right. There he is. Now, granted, it's not the most detailed thing, but like I said, when you need something quick, and then these lights, I don't know if they show. Do they show? When you need something quick for a show, yes they do. There you go. And it costs you, we got to add in the bow. Hold on. I'm going to say that was 50 cents. So $4. And the lights, $5. And you can charge depending on your area and where you go. You know, you could get 35 bucks for that guy. And then if you want to do smaller ones for people that don't have 35 bucks, that's a good idea too. Do them this tall. Do them as tall as you. You can do them however you want. Okay. So this is day 2 with cold snow lumps and shiver bumps. And very easy, quick piece that I just love. And I love doing them in all different colors. They make like a statement when they're leaning there all different colors. So, and really you can do that with a jig. I think Mom did it with a scroll, but you can do that with a jigsaw. It's just, you know, a little circle on top of the piece of wood. All right, you guys, that's all I have for you tonight. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. Don't forget also to join the Makery. There's lots of lives going on in there. Feel free to ask a question in there and talk with all the talented ladies that's in that group. So I will see you tomorrow night, day 3. I don't know what I'm going to do. I have a couple of ideas, but thank you, Deborah. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thanks, Annie. I don't know. I'll figure it out. All right, you guys. Thank you. Have a blessed evening, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.